Welcome, people of Earth. I'm Headless Horseman. Together with Cradle, we created an instrument called Shadow Structures. Shadow Structures contains the building blocks for creating drones, textures, bass, heavy, dark, light, plucks, atmosphere, sound creation with a twist of a few knobs. And with that, you can get closer to your custom sound using these building blocks as a starting point. You can take these sounds and create something that's solely your own. Happy creating. Let's dive right in. So here is the interface for Shadow Structures. We have a multitude of preset sounds, 200 to be precise. We'll start with preset 1, which is called 1988, which might possibly be remnant of the sound from the late 80s. Let's play a note. Let's see what happens. Sounds like a synthesizer. The way the Cradle instrument works is that you have this lovely big knob in the middle where you can blend in between two sounds. Right now we have circular saw loaded up on the left, and on the right we have a sound called Renegade. By adjusting this dial, we can mix in between the two sounds, how much of each one we want. If we go into the synth section, we have LFO. We have some source parameters such as noise, polyphonic, legato. And we can also tune. We can tune and filter and use the ADSR, the amplification, on the sounds individually. So we focus on circular saw in this example. We have it selected. We're not going to have them linked. Linked means if you adjust a parameter, it will adjust the parameters for both of the voices. We're going to focus on the left voice. Playing with its cutoff. We're going to put some LFO on its filter, even on its amp. We're going to talk a little bit more. Now we're going to blend in our right sound. We're going to select our right sound and bring its filter up. And we're going to play with the LFO for our right sound as well. Now that it's selected, we're going to make that faster. Everyone happy with the sound? We want to try something new? Our parameters will stay with the same where they are, where we left them. And we can move on to the next sound. We can also double click to reset any parameters. In this case, I want this to drone out and play long. A little less than the filter for my taste. Dissonant harmonic chord. And if we link, the amount will follow what the initial position was. So it's really easy to quickly modify the sound and make it your own. There are MIDI effects, such as arpeggiator, chord, and scale. Let's try the diminished chord and enable chord. In which we can adjust the voice count. And if we adjust scale, what we play and input will follow those notes. There's an audio effects section, very easy to use. And for this discussion and example, I will turn off the scale. Keep the sound a bit more basic so we understand. We have an EQ with a tilt that tilts from predominantly lows two highs, bass, mid, and treble. We'll crank them all up. Drop mids, drop lows, leave lows in, tilt back to low. There's a mid driver with 6 different algorithms. Let's give it some mix, and let's give it some gain. Some are more subtle than others. Some are crunchier. Some are dark and disgusting. Some are light. There is delay. Who doesn't like delay? And of course we have reverb. There's something special this instrument has that was designed for this instrument. It is a magic button, which adds kind of an endless shimmer, which based on the frequency you're putting into it, the magic will react. I don't know exactly what it does, but the results are sometimes odd and otherworldly. Sometimes you might get stuck in a wormhole of reverb. There's also tape to give that warbly, old school flair. 2 modes to pick from, modern and vintage. And it seems like at this point, I've destroyed the preset so much it's not even recognizable. Let's jump to something else. Here we have categories. We have all, which will show our 200 sounds. We have ARPs, arpeggio. This is blissful ARP. It's a bit more happier. But how about diminished doom? Which utilizes a diminished scale. Enchantment ARP. Bringing you into a world of castles, queens, and kings. Floating ARP. Which sounds like just what it does. There are some strange names in this product. I don't know how they got in there. Beef and atmosphere. And how about we go to Cosmos? For your cinematic vibes and backing tracks. Fireplace. Just sounds like noise and the rustling of a fire in the distance. Well, not on Earth, on some other planet, because that's a very strange fire sound. Jupiter, what would that sound like? Jupiter has a nice plug in the beginning and a soft pad that holds and swells and speaks at the end. Low dirt. And slow moonwalk. That's passable for a drone. I'll take it. Off to our bass section. Body. Rock and roll. And we have the static raver preset. Let's dirty that up a bit. All the parameters are assignable and automatable in your DAW and on your MIDI keyboard or controller. That's pretty gnarly to clean sub. Let's change our right sound. Let's put in serious warbler. And play around with our driver. Change the algorithm to something more extreme. Carve a little with our EQs. Oh, I like that. It's pretty dark. Let's get some reverb on there, because I love me some reverb. And delay, of course. Transforming basic sounds into sonic extremities. Since bass is important, let's move on to the warm hug. swirly bass. And it wouldn't be electronic music without some wonky. That's very wonky. Moving on to the lead section, we have cello metal. The crunchy solo. And the distant clav. Finding noise, I wonder what that's going to sound like. It definitely sounds noisy. Let's go to the unigrowl. Play around with that filter a bit. Until they're EQ up to get more bite. Let's get a lot of mid-driver in there. Okay, enough dirt. We're on to our pads, where we might potentially find something more pretty, like cosmic waves. And when held, many of these sounds talk and speak after their initial transient. Dungeon meditation. A sound you definitely need for your rituals with friends or family. The major for happiness. Find our sweet spot. Disable LFO sync. And do different LFOs on each side. Let's increase our release time on both. So it plays longer. Let's do a couple more pad sounds, like memories. I don't know what memory that reminds me of. Let's try nostalgia pad. That sounds a bit more inviting. Each pad tells its own story. Pretty pad. That sounds pretty. Let's modify it a bit. Play with our mix and our filter. Let's move one voice up an octave up. 12 semitones. Let's move the left voice down by an octave. Add some noise. And let's mess it up. Give it some bite in the mids. Hit it with the mid driver. We're getting some nice overtones there. Now it just sounds like a cacophony. Let's move on to the next patch. Stargazer. A little portamento pad that sounds quite soothing. Something for other worlds and galaxies. And the weepy pad. That's quite nice and inviting. Our pluck section has sounds that are plucky. The liquid minor. Wave school. And synth popper. Nice and simple. A good starting point, as many of the presets are. Good starting points for you to expand on. Ceremonial. Another one for your rituals. Whatever they may be. Whatever you may reflect and think about with your peers. That's an overview of the presets and preset sections. Again, we can mix in between what we want. We can pick individual sounds, and we have characteristics in them as well. So if I want to get something bright and something decayed on this side, bright and decayed, or just decayed, we'll take this harmonic layer, and on our left side, we'll take the substab. Click anywhere to close that window. That sounds very disharmonic. Starting back from 1988, we also have 2001. Is it that much different than 88? The synths and the sounds remain the same. Maybe the ideas changed. We hope you enjoy Shadow Structures in your music making endeavors and journeys. Thank you for listening and watching.